Hey guys, what's happening? You get me in this video again, right?
Yeah, lucky you.
I didn't barge in it, did I?
No, I invited you.
Okay, so she invited me, so you get 2 trainers for 1 low price. Anyway, at the state-by-state events, I was getting a lot of questions from people, and I actually get a lot of Facebook questions too. Clark, what if somebody is in a wheelchair? What if somebody's stuck and they can't get up and move? And that is a really good question, so we're going to address that concern today. So I have Anita sitting here in the chair, and she has come up with a few different exercises that we're going to show you. So what's the first exercise that you want to show everyone?
Shoulder press.
Okay, so it's shoulder press. So again, you're in a chair, you might want to have some sort of resistance. So it's easy to go off and buy some 8-pound dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells, or a few sets of different sizes. So again, she's in this chair, she doesn't need to move around, and she's going to be able to work out her upper body very good, just like anybody could. So here we go. Dumbbells out to the side, and you're just going to press straight up over your head. So what you want to make sure that you do is when you're doing these, is if I were to cut my body from front to back, you have a front half and a back half. I just want to make sure that Anita's elbows are on the front side of her body if there was a line from front to back. That keeps the shoulder safe. So now as far as sets and repetitions are concerned, you can do 1 set or up to 4 sets depending on your level of fitness. So for the purposes of this video, we're just going to do 1 set. We're going to do about 10 repetitions. Another thing that I want to point out to you is this. Anita has the shoulder flexibility. She can come all the way down to here if she chooses. If you don't, the range of motion would be right to here, to where your upper arm is parallel with the floor. Now Anita, what are you doing while you're doing this? Are you breathing?
I'm breathing, yes. So on the hardest part, when I'm pushing up, that's when I'm breathing out.
So,
right there.
Exhale. And I'm not counting, so you can see.
I'm like at 12 or 13.
Okay, good. So we got a shoulder exercise. It's very important, regardless of your physical limitations, that you do some sort of resistance training. So what we're going to do is just make the best of what we have. I came up with a saying years ago that says, do what you can, the best you can. Okay? So again, if you're in a chair, if you're in a situation where you don't have full mobility, you can still exercise. Now what do you got next?
Now I was going to just do outside shoulders.
Okay. So she's just doing a lateral shoulder raise. So she can actually sit up a little wider, front, so she's not hitting the side. Okay? So she's just doing a lateral shoulder raise, just like you would do on a machine at the gym. So basically you're bending your arms to about 90 degrees and raising up, and you're getting side delts. So one rule of thumb that you want to keep in mind is anytime you change any dynamic of the exercise, you change the neurological response in the body. So what that means is this. She went from here, which was a shoulder exercise, to here. It caused different nerves to fire, which gets different muscles to work. So you want to have as much variety as you can. Another thing that would change that would be the speed of motion in which you do the exercise. You could change the diameter of the grip by wrapping a towel around there and making it thicker, causes different nerves to fire. Again, she's breathing. Anything you want to add to this, Anita?
This is a tough one. No, it's just make sure to breathe while you do it. That's one of the most important things, and that your form is correct.
Okay, so what about triceps? What do you have for triceps?
Next. So we're just going to do overhead triceps. So you can either do this one arm or one arm at a time, like this, but I'm going to choose to do them this way.
So again, it's just another variation of an exercise. So you can do 2 hands, you can do 1 hand. The key thing that you want to keep in mind when you're doing any exercise program is safety. You want to keep safety first. This is the same rule of thumb. If I were to dissect the body from front to back, she wants to keep her upper arms in front of the midline of her body, okay? So this is keeping her safe, keeping her elbows tight to the head, and coming all the way down, stretching that tricep, coming all the way up and contracting the tricep. So coming all the way up, up, and squeeze. You can open your hands a little bit to get more extension. See, when you were closing your hands tight, you weren't getting as much extension at the top. Boom. But always make sure you have a good grip on the tricep, on the dumbbell. And I have a good grip on the dumbbell right here. Just kidding. be in trouble for that one. All the way down, all the way up. Okay, good. So again, you can do that single arm, one arm at a time. And if you do it one arm at a time, it's always a good rule of thumb to kind of keep one hand over here supporting that side so it doesn't want to wander out too wide, because we want to keep the shoulder safe. Anything else for the triceps, or you want to go on to biceps? Or?
Going on the biceps.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to do hammerhead triceps. Because I have a slight...
Biceps, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say triceps?
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a slight injury right here, so when I do these, it bothers my forearm, so that's why I choose to do hammerhead curls.
So what she's meaning is just like you're hammering, so just to be a hammer curl. So it's like you're hammering, so your thumb is up, pointing up to the ceiling. So if you do have pain, there's always ways to work around it. So that's what we just saw happen right here. She's got a little bit of a concern with some issues in her forearm. So simply by turning her grip, it took that pain away so she can still exercise. So there's really no excuse that you would have. Very good, just like that, very simple. Do you have anything for abs that you might want to do? Or I could suggest something if you don't.
Well, we could do abs off the...
Now, you just did something that I want to point out that's wrong.
I know.
Okay, but it's okay because it's habit that people do this. What you just saw Nita do, she was sitting down and bent over and put the weights down on the ground. Now, if you don't have use of your legs, it's obvious that you cannot stand up and squat down and put the weights to the ground. So what's a safe way for you to put the weights down while you're exercising, seated? If you don't have use of your legs, there's really not an option other than maybe you have something next to you where you can support the weights next to you. That'd be a good option. Reason being is when you bend over in a seated position and you pick up weight, now this is just good for everybody to understand. When you're in a seated position, you bend over and you pick up weight, you're putting a lot of unnecessary stress on your lower back. Because when I stand up and bend my knees, what that does, it activates my glute muscles which protect my back. So if you can stand up, it's best if you do. Squat down and put the weights down and then back up. And if you cannot, it's okay to do that, but just be mindful of your back. That's all I'm saying. Be aware of what the potential, issues might be. So, moving on. What we're gonna do.
Okay, well, if this chair is strong enough.
Yeah, it's strong enough.
Okay, you can hold on to it.
Yep.
Just do crunches off the end of the chair.
Yep. And again, that is if you have use of your legs. Again, if you don't, here's an alteration of this that you can do, okay? So what I want Nita to do, so let's pretend, for example, she cannot move her legs. And depending if somebody has mobility, where they lost their mobility at would be an issue as to whether or not you can do this. But something that you want to think about, all she really needs to do is contract from her sternum, her rib cage, the point right there where the ribs come together, to her belly button. So she could just crunch, just like that. And exhale. And it's really key to exhale on this because you really contract that ab muscle right there. So basically, we just showed you 4 or 5 different exercises that you could do if you're in a wheelchair. You are not disabled, you simply have some limitations that you need to work around. So that's what we're trying to help you do. Work around those limitations and staying fit. Nita, anything you want to say to your big fans out there? This is your show, not mine. I just took it over for the day.
I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry I've been gone a while, but we're gonna get back on track here and get you some good workouts.
That's it, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace.